Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone. I am Dilip Mehra from the SkyCoder team and with me is my teammate Anas. So as you all know, in many SAP and non-SAP programs, we often go through major upgrades or move to new platforms. For example, migrating from legacy SAP ECC system to modern systems like SAP S/4HANA. So whenever this happens, all the business data needs to be carefully moved from the old system to the new ones. And that's where the data migration team and tools like SAP BODS come into the picture. So after the data is loaded to the new system, the most important step is validating whether the data that actually moved matches what we expected. And that's exactly where our reconciliation tool helps. So next, I'm going to ask my teammate Anas to take us through the presentation. Over to you, Anas.
Thank you, Dilip. Thank you for setting this context. So hello, everyone. So before starting what we have developed here, so let me give you a context from our project perspective and why this innovation is going to helpful. So first, let's me set up the context. So what is data migration basically? So data migration is the process of moving clean, accurate, and business-ready data from legacy system to any S/4HANA or ECC environment. And to ensure the migrated data are loaded correctly or not, the functional or business team must perform a post-load data validation step to do a comparison between preload data versus post-load data. So right now, most project teams, including our, compare preload and post-load data either manually or by preparing reconciliation report for each migration object. So suppose if there are 100 number of migration objects, so in that way, we have to develop 100 numbers of reconciliation reports. And in case any new object introduced, so additional new reconciliation reports needs to be developed. And the manual comparison or with the reconciliation preparation, the major challenge is the volume of the data, the efforts, the time, everything will be very challenging here in order to do the proper data validation. So this results in human error, repetitive exercise in each cycle like SIT, UAT or during go live period. So we come up with a dynamic modeling to overcome this pain area in the migration projects. So what basically our tool is doing here. So it will dynamically handle any number of preload or the post load files and do a quick comparison to give you a detailed overview which data are matching, which are not matching in a proper manner. So I will request Dilip to open the UI and explain and provide all the demonstration what we have done here. Over to you, Dilip.
Thanks, Anas. So the tool has three simple sections on the left and results appear on the right. On the left, we have three sections, that is database connection, where we can enter the SQLite path and click on the connect. Then the status will change to connected. And we also have source and target tables where we can select the preload and postload tables. We have the option of reconciliation output where we give the name of the target table. And also optionally, we can click on generate Excel output to generate a Excel also. So in this demo, let's select a SQL DB, which is there on my system. I'm clicking on connect. Now, since the DB is connected, the status has changed to connected. On the left side, now we are selecting the preload table and the postload table. Now we can give the name of the target table. Okay. Also, we are clicking on the generate Excel output. Now, before I generate this reconciliation, let me first show you how the database and the table looks before running the reconciliation. This is the database, and these are the two tables that we are going to compare. This is the content on the first database. As you can see, there are 10,001 record in this one and 10,000 records on this one. We have purposely chosen an additional record over here just to see how the application handles that. And also one more thing to note over here is there are two primary keys and multiple other columns. And one specific thing that we have tried to do over here is we have tried to handle various kinds of data types. For example, integer, float, string, date, boolean, category, everything. So let's run the application and see the output. Okay, looks like the database is locked, so I'm coming out of the database first. Let me run it again. So as you can see over here, rows only in the preload, which says 1. That means there is only one record which exists in the preload, which does not exist in the postload with that particular combination of primary keys. Like we saw, it had 10,001 record, and this is that one additional record. There are total these many mismatched rows, and there are 43 matched rows. So let me take you to the database again. Refresh. This is the table what we had created, and there are total 10,001 entries. As you can see, the primary keys have come only one time, and each one of the columns of the source and target have come, and then the result for those particular columns, the columns of source and target, and then the result. And then on the extreme right side, we have an overall result, which will say either matched or mismatched based on the overall combination of the record. If all the values are matching in a particular record, then it's a match. Even if a single uh, value in the record is not matching, then it's a mismatch. So since we had chosen the option of generate Excel output also, let's click on download Excel and see how it downloads. One thing to note over here is the Excel file that got created has the same name of the target table. This is the data in the Excel. And as you can see over here, 10,001 records. And if we see the result, then we have 9957, exactly the same number of mismatch, and the same number of matches will be there. 43. And there is one additional record which was not created in the target table. That is 1. That was all about the application. And there are future possibilities for this application that we can always add additional options over here to add the additional database like MySQL and Oracle and other types of database. So the BODS data reconcilier turns a time-consuming manual task into a one-click automated comparison, which gives faster test cycles and fewer errors and a consistent validation framework across the entire migration project. Anas, do you want to add anything?
Sure, Dilip. So thanks a lot, Dilip, for this detailed demonstration. So if I summarize overall this tool, so this tool automates the entire preload versus post-load comparison using a clean, simple interface as you have seen here. So as you've seen, it compared one preload table with one postload table. It automatically identifies primary keys from database table structures. It compares every non-key column. It produced a clean output table. It can optionally export the result to Excel as well, that we also seen here. And it is designed specifically for migration data validation cycles. So what is the overall purpose of this tool? This tool actually to do a comparison, and it's not actually to do or replace any existing SAP load tool. It simply makes comparison extremely fast and reliable. So that's all what we have developed here. So over to you, Dilip, if you want to conclude here.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, I think you've concluded, Anas. So we can conclude this call over here. So thank you for watching this video.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Anas. Yeah.
Thank you, Dilip.